I'll be showing you how I make tattoo textures using Photoshop and existing tattoo images from the internet. Here I'm just loading the bikini item which has a tattoo on Unity, so you can see that there's like an exterior layer which we are going to texture, and that's going to be where the tattoo is. I'm here in Photoshop. I'm creating a new layer and I'm making it white so that I can actually see what tattoo I'm putting on and what the design is. I'm going to drag in a tattoo image that I found on Pinterest, and what we are going to do is we're going to edit it so that we only have black lines and we don't have the white background. If you put a white background image on the tattoo, you would actually see the white as well for your characters, so it wouldn't look like a real tattoo. It would just look like an image that's pasted on the skin. So over here, I'm adjusting the brightness and contrast and levels of the image so that it is more crisp. So this is usually what I do, but you can change it however you want, whichever method you prefer. This is just a method that I use. Here I'm deleting the white. I'm changing the tolerance so that the selection is how I want it to be. So when I'm done deleting the background, I'm just dragging it into my tattoo UV map file. I'm creating a black layer and you can see that there's still white on the tattoo. So how I'm going to fix this is I'm going to make a new layer. I'm going to paint it black and then clip mask it onto the tattoo. So now all the white parts are going to be black. I'm going to merge the layer and drag it back into my UV tattoo map. I'm going to duplicate it. Control J is the shortcut to duplicate, and hide for keeping the original one. And I'm going to cut out designs that I want to actually use on my tattoo. I'm using the lasso tool to outline the design that I want, and Control C or Control X to cut, and Control V to paste. I'm using the move tool to move it to the UV area that I would like the design to be placed. I'm going to repeat this process for all, just like cutting and pasting the tattoo to whichever position I want it to be. Now I want to just test to see how my tattoo looks. Make sure that your UV layer as well as the background layer is turned off. Quick export to 512x512px. Save it into the Unity folder where your item is. Go back to Unity, create a new material, and make sure it is a transparent material. You can drag it into the viewport to preview your item. Now I'm looking at my design where I placed the design, and I feel like the line art is a bit too dark and heavy for my own preference. And the positioning is also a bit out of place. I'm going to just go back to Photoshop and adjust accordingly. So here I want to adjust the actual base image. So I'm going to try and adjust the levels so that there's less black. So they seem thinner when they placed on as a tattoo. Once I'm satisfied, I will duplicate the layer like before and flatten it, rasterize it, then delete the white and clip mask a black image layer and merge the two layers together. I'm going to group all the old designs as I don't want to use them anymore. I'm going to start over with the tattoo placement and design process. Before I go on further, I'm just going to quick export it onto Unity to actually see if the thickness of the tattoo is what I desire and want. So here I'm happy with the thickness, so I'll just continue texturing it and placing it, resizing it until it's something that I want. I like this flower, but I want to edit it slightly, so I'm using the masking tool to help me erase safely the parts that I don't want. It is always a good idea to slightly adjust the tattoo images that you take from the internet and make sure you don't overuse tattoos that's published by the same designer, because ZEPETO can see this as copyright infringement and your item can be rejected. So I'm seeing that this design right here is a bit too thin. So I'm going to use the first edited, the sticker line tattoo, just cutting the design out and placing it back to where I want it. Oftentimes, you can even create your own text font tattoos. It's very easy to do on Photoshop, and I feel like you have more flexibility in what you can do. Here, I'm just picking a good font that will work for what I want. Here in my preview, I can see that the tattoo is a bit too thick and big for what I want. So you just go back into Photoshop and adjust it slowly until you get what you actually want. It's a long process, but this is what you need to do to make sure your designs are what you want and good enough for you. The rest of the video is just going to be a recording of what I am doing to create my own tattoo design. Sometimes the images that you downloaded can be a bit blurry and not so crisp, so you can just add a sharpen filter over the image. So that is my demonstration on how I make tattoos, and here is my final tattoo design after a lot of tweaking and going back and forth until I am happy with what I have.